become an extremely popular discipline technique, but parent educator Judy Arnall is here to urge us to try something different, instead called the time-in technique. Of course, time-out is very popular. A lot of parents use it. Let's talk about what time-in is.
Time-in is basically the parent helping the child to calm down. It's not sending the child away to calm down on their own, because a lot of children cannot calm down on their own.
So when you say let's spend some time together to calm down, what exactly do you mean by that? What can be done in that circumstance?
Well, basically, timeout is overused and misused. Timeout is supposed to help children break the activity and gain self-control, but very often parents use it as a punishment and use it as jail time. So time-in is the concept of parents helping a child calm down by sitting down with them, rubbing their back, giving them a hug, soft words, allowing them to come to a space of self-control, emotional self-control, and then they can solve the problem. The problem is parents need to be in a calm space themselves.
Which is sometimes hard to be.
Very hard, but time out is for the parents then. Parents need to gain control in order to help their child gain control.
So they can sit down together, like you said, maybe take some time to read a book, maybe talk out the problem as well?
That's right, and that really, really works for extroverted children. You send them away to a corner and they need someone to talk with, to talk out their emotions. And we'd never say to a child to learn math, we don't say, go to your room for 5 minutes with this math book and come out when you know it.
Right.
But we do that with kids and their emotions. We don't tend to want to deal with them in the moment, and that's when they need us the most.
And this is really a technique that can be used for kids of all ages.
Anytime you are thinking of doing a timeout, try a time-in instead. And oftentimes parents say, well, you're kind of rewarding the misbehavior. But what I tell parents is what you're doing is you're calming your child down to a point where they can actually listen to the teaching that comes later. So any age that you're going to do a timeout, do a time-in.
I'm sure there kind of builds a respect level there as well, if you're kind of calming down together, talking through whatever the issue might be.
Well, you're teaching children a very valuable life skill, and it's respectful. Mm-hmm. And in the real world, when somebody's behavior is bothering you, you can't move them. You have to move yourself. And a timeout is a useful skill, but we're raising a whole generation of kids that will not use a timeout as an adult because they've experienced it as a punishment as a child.
Great. Well, some great advice there. Thanks for coming in this morning, Judy.
Thanks, Amber.
And